this is Nikki, and I'm here to share the messages that I get from Spirit and from all of our higher selves that are helping us on this journey to unconditional love. Love of the journey, love of each other, back to the soul group, that are most definitely helping us on this journey. So I do a Divine Love Crystal Grid, which was guided set up on the Lion's Gate, and it uses rose quartz crystal. I infuse the pieces of crystal with Holy Fire Reiki, and you receive a piece of rose quartz, and when you meditate with that and send unconditional love to your twin, it basically and out to raise love and light on the planet, and to do it collectively, to have the intent for all twin flames to come into their union. It's about doing it as a collective soul group, helping each other into our unions. As well as that, I do Divine Love Healing, which uses again Holy Fire Reiki, and I connect to your souls, and I see everything like a film. And then I give you a write-up of everything that I see, and very often I get songs and different things coming through. I send you that, and you get a write-up and a 3-card angel read for guidance, and also a guided mantra. And so, and all details for that in the link below. So you can, if you want to book for healing, then I can do it for you today, tomorrow. So I'm on a 2-day turnaround. Alright, and so just to say that I actually met up with my twin yesterday, and I'm going to recommend a read, an energy read, because it popped up into my YouTube list this morning, and it has been really helpful, because we definitely, when I met up with him yesterday, because I'm basically moving location out of the city where he lives, and he just sort of said that he's going away again for another time. So immediately it went into my head that I'm not going to see him again, and so it kind of triggered stuff, and it just all ended really kind of like awkwardly. And so and then this morning I listened to, I think it's Spiritual Candy, Kat from Spiritual Candy, and she's done an energy read for this week, and when I read it, when I listened to it, I was like, that's exactly what has just happened with me and my twin. And so it kind of definitely altered the way that, you know, my instant reaction was to say, you know, that I kind of get the message, and, you know, I'll wait for him to contact me and be a bit kind of like moody, you know. But instead, I just like didn't react, and just kind of like, you know, basically do what we always say, ride the waves, go to your heart space, listen to what your heart is telling you, and not go from the ego. But of course, we're all human, so the instant reaction is to act out of like kind of, you know, out of that knee-jerk reaction. So thankfully I didn't. We'll see. But so some interesting things though. So I've had some people sending me stuff about how we're mirroring each other as twin flames. So this is a twin flame, her twin flame and her. Turns out that they, you know, you can do Google images of your house. Well, basically her and her twin are so completely off the cuff. They were both positioned outside their house with their dogs at the time that Google Images took the photo. So how, you know, basically divinely ordained is that, to have the camera there right at the same time that they're both outside their houses with their dogs, independently. And they haven't seen each other for, I think it was 10 years. And she just so happened to look, and she was like, oh my God, because she saw him for the first time. So, as well as that though, when I was chatting to my twin yesterday, turns out we both went to the same cinema at the same time to watch Trainspotting. In Trainspotting 2, and there are messages all the way through that film. The stag, the rose, like all the way through it. He makes so my twin said that he was a mountain goat, and he also said, oh yeah, he mentioned Paris. And I was just like, oh my goodness. So, you know, regardless of what it looks like in the 3D at the moment, then, you know, like we always say, it's about really trusting that it will come together at the right time, and then really acting from your heart. Which is, you know, it's not an easy thing to do, because of course sometimes our reaction is just to do a knee-jerk reaction to things. And that's why on a twin flame journey, it's so important not to. It's so important to do meditation before you do anything, before you react to anything, and just really, you know, try to be very I guess it's about conscious living in every single aspect, especially on dealing with, if you're in you know, if you are in contact with your twin, etc., then especially in those, you know, because there will be triggers that come up, especially, I mean, immediately yesterday, because he said that he's going away again and I know that I'm moving, it just, you know, sent my head in a tailspin, because I just panicked, because I thought that this might be the last time I see him, which of course isn't going to be the case, but at that time, in that moment, that's what I thought. So of course he was like, "You're just weird, what's wrong with you?" So, oh dear. Anyway, so the thing is, we are all human after all. So just this little nice message, this was from yesterday or the day before, when we were looking at the references between William Walsh that had come up because of the snake, and the snake appeared. Well, on that particular article, William Welsh is actually the Doctor of Divinity. So again, I mean, it is pretty much perfect that it keeps going full circle back to this, which is why, you know, it is really important to just have a grasp of the bigger picture, to know that it is part of, you know, being brought together to do a divine, you know, to raise love and light on the planet. So no matter what it looks like, you know, it really is a case of trusting that, okay, well, that will happen at some point if we can manage our energies, and if we can trust, have faith, and really not, you know, and just keep on trusting and having faith. So there you go, that's the message for today, and I just thought it was, you know, just again a brilliant it was just a brilliant message. So watch the spirit. So Spiritual Candy is the lady, and her name is Kat. And yeah, it's just, I found it to be very accurate, her reading, especially with what I experienced yesterday. So the other thing is that I noticed that they might be focusing on if they, you know, if your twin has addictions, then they might also be focusing on that and trying to do something about that. So that is something else that you might want to be aware of. All right, well, I hope that helps, and take care. And if you want to come to me for healing or to join the Crystal Grid, then please do, because again, when I was getting ready to do these messages, the song on the radio was I Feel It Coming. The first one was I Feel It Coming, Thingy and Daft Punk, and the second one was Avicii, Wake Up, and the third one was oh god, it was a Mumford & Sons song, which also was like, you know, full of messages. So just know this, however crazy it does seem, just hang on in there, because, you know, you just have to keep remembering that it's part of the bigger picture, and you are one piece of a massive jigsaw. And that jigsaw, we're being, you know, divinely guided on how to put that together. So that's why it's really important to hold your own space and be in your own vibe and be in your own love vibe, to let your life be as fulfilling, as magical as it can be. So release all blocks to abundance, release all blocks to, you know, receiving, release all blocks to receiving love from the universe. And then, you know, once you concentrate on yourself and doing that and keep releasing. Remember, you are layers of an onion, right? So I know that some people are feeling, you know, I've had messages saying I feel depressed and this hasn't helped and da-da-da. And it's because, you know, there's no like one click wonder, you know, there's no like you go for one healing and then that's it. I mean, it's a constant daily practice, right? Not even a daily practice, it's like conscious living, it's making conscious choices every single minute of the day. And so it's about putting in more and more and more light into your body and releasing anything that is creating any blocks and any darkness. And that is really all about, you know, asking for help. So if you're feeling like you're struggling, then ask for help. Ask to identify where your blocks are. Ask your inner guidance to show you how you can heal that and what you need to do. You know, one technique is to visualize where your blocks are on your body, and you could, you know, it might appear to you as a color or a bit shaded or a bit sticky, or, you know, it'll appear in some way. You send it up to the light, and then you receive a gift from the light. When that gift comes, it could be anything, you know, depending on you, it could be a rose, it could be whatever. You pat that gift into your energy field, into your body where you took away the dark, and replace it, and you pat it in 3 times, and obviously you make your thanks and fill you with unconditional love. And that's what you're doing. That's what we're doing at the moment. It's all about self-healing and self-love, and then trusting that the rest will all fit into place in divine timing. All right, well, I do hope that helps, and if you want to come to me for healing, then please do. All details are in the link, and please do join the Crystal Grid. The power of doing it collectively is huge. We want to rise up in our love vibe and out with the old. In with the new, out with the old. All right, take care. Have a good one. Bye.